An aggressive head chef.
I'm gonna jump over the side of this thing and knock your ass out.
Delusional owners.
Is there a plot against you from Yelp to close this business?
No question in my mind.
And a son that had over $250,000 stolen from him by his own father.
I was managing his money, so I actually took part of that money.
And as the manager of his funds, you then invested in the business.
Yeah, I told him after the fact.
What?
I kind of forced him into it by taking his money.
Are just the tip of the iceberg for this episode of Kitchen Nightmare. After meeting the two owners, Alan and Jen, Gordon quickly learns that the couple has managed to lose over $500,000 in just 16 months of operation. Even more shocking was the fact that most of the money wasn't theirs. It was stolen from their son Daniel, and as a result, instead of building a successful dream restaurant, Alan and Jen had essentially bankrolled their failing business endeavor by robbing their child of both his money and his future. He also learns that Alan is legitimately convinced that the reason his restaurant is failing isn't because of poor food or mismanagement, but because Yelp has conspired against him, that the platform is deleting 5-star reviews and flooding his page with fake criticism. It's clear that he can't accept responsibility, and instead blames the visible enemies when faced with the consequences of his own incompetence. He also reveals that
My son has a great deal of resentment towards me, and I don't know why.
which truly shows that he believes that he can do no wrong. Gordon decides that it's time to try the food, and it was abysmal. Every single dish was sent back to the kitchen. After that appalling service, Gordon learns quite the shocking set of truths. That 1, Head Chef David has no control over what is on the menu, or how each item is made, and that 2, Head Chef David has not been paid recently. Gen gets mad about the fact that such a secret was exposed, and Alan tries to explain that it's okay because
He has been working on the spirit of getting paid. The spirit.
it's wild how he can be so delusional whenever he's presented with a situation where he's clearly in the wrong. Gordon attempts to defuse the situation by challenging Head Chef David to make him a burger. This works, and while David gathers ingredients from the store, Gordon visits Daniel, the son of the owner, and his girlfriend Wendy. He learns that Daniel has been suffering due to his father's actions, and that Alan is a stubborn man that never sees himself in the wrong.
I thought it was going to be bad, but I didn't think it was going to be quite that bad.
I don't trust him anymore. It's taken a while for me to kind of like come to that realization, you know, but sorry.
It's hard, you know, it's hard to watch this happen. It's hard to watch somebody get beaten down so much that like the fight is no longer there.
After the chat, Gordon heads back to the restaurant where he's presented with 2 different dishes. One, a burger that Alan made a fair bit ago,
And ready. Are you making him a burger too?
and the other, a burger that David made. Gordon makes his opinion on each dish known,
That is hideous. Bloody hell, I mean, that's what I call a burger. Jesus. And how does it taste? It's delicious.
which prompts Jen to give David's dish a try. Because she gags in response, this causes a bit of a fight, but Gordon changes the subject to why David's burger is not on the menu, which causes an even more massive fight to break out that results in Jen leaving. David makes his opinion on Jen's reaction known afterwards.
Jen got up from the tasting because Jen wanted me to be the reason that their pitiful restaurant hasn't made it.
Fortunately, Gordon is able to get Jen back into the building. Unfortunately, she enters the fight with David immediately because of the fact that David thinks that she hates him.
Wait, take it easy.
8 to 12 chefs walk out. Since the day I walked in here, you want me to fail?
Right before dinner service starts, Alan gives Gordon a little bit of an autobiography.
You got your own cookbook?
I wrote a book.
One that focuses on how his relationship with his own father became strained.
He said, if you leave Australia, it'll be the end of us forever.
You didn't want to be controlled, right?
I didn't want to be controlled.
Did you love him?
It's hard to say. It's a love-hate relationship. How can you love someone who stabbed you so much in the back?
Dinner service was honestly bad. Alan quickly displayed his inability to follow simple orders. The mess of a ticketing system caused a lot of confusion among both the kitchen and waiting staff, and tensions became so high that David threatened Daniel and got fired in response.
I'm gonna jump over the side of this thing and knock your ass out if you don't
Oh,
stop it.
you are! Come here right now, man! Come here right now! You wanna threaten me? You wanna threaten me? Get the fuck out right now! You're done! Get the fuck out of here! Get the fuck out of here! You're done! Goodbye!
Literally as unproductive as a dinner service could possibly be. When dinner service ends, both parties admit that they were in the wrong, but the damage had already been done. David returns to get his final paycheck, And of course this causes a fight since the owners don't have any money to pay him with. Jen agrees to write a check and tells her son to put money into the company bank account so that the check doesn't bounce.
Write the check for $1,000.
And you can put the money in tomorrow for us?
Which causes a fight between Jen and Wendy since Jen is treating Daniel as a literal piggy bank.
How the fuck can he put the money in?
No, I don't think so.
Wendy, please don't get involved right now.
Daniel ends up leaving due to his frustration and his sadness. Daniel, completely battered by the situation, confides in Gordon. Gordon tells him that he needs to stand up for himself and that he's willing to support him all the way. The next day, Gordon decides to tackle something that he has been neglecting up until now, that being Jen and Alan's view of Yelp. He sets up an intervention in which those who rated the restaurant poorly could reveal themselves and verify their existence to the owners, and tell them directly what issues they had with their experience. Every single Yelper conveyed that they had issues with the quality of the food, and that some of them made Yelp accounts for the sole purpose of making their single review. An honestly pretty unsurprising truth is then revealed, that the owners have a bit of a habit of verbally blasting those who leave bad reviews. Wild, right? Gordon learns that
I wrote my review on Yelp only to be met with sort of a barrage of emails from you, and you told me that you thought we were the competition, and you told me that you thought we were out to get you. At one point you threatened to turn us over to the hate crime division of the LAPD.
During this important moment, Jen can be seen yawning and going to sleep. Gordon, seeing this, obviously calls her out.
Jen, am I keeping you up, darling? Would you like a blanket?
Alan, upset by the situation, then tries to go on a tirade, but is quickly interrupted by Daniel, which obviously results in a fight. Gordon then tries to tell Alan about the purpose of Yelp.
And like he said, if there's 18 complaints about one particular item, trust me, we've got it wrong. So we move and we change course. We take Yelp as an advantage to reposition ourselves. And we listen to a consensus. That's what we do.
Maybe I'm obsessed and I'm wrong. I agree with you. I'll never, ever speak about this again. And I appreciate it enormously because I hope we can learn from this and improve.
And luckily, after the intervention, Alan drops his conspiracy theory. After that, Gordon tries to get an understanding of the chain of command, only to find out that Alan is apparently a reluctant head of operations. A fight erupts over Daniel revealing that he doesn't trust his father because of the fact that his father stole money from him, which is understandable. However, his parents don't seem to view it that way. His girlfriend Wendy attempts to stand up for him, which causes Jen to join into the fight. Daniel makes a plea to his family to get along with Wendy and to admit that what they did was wrong and simply try to work together. Jen refuses his request. I will admit that while Alan committed the sin of stealing money from his son, I feel like Jen is arguably just as guilty. Not only did she fail to stop Alan, as, let's be real here, she knew that they didn't have enough money to afford to open the restaurant, and that the money needed to come from somewhere, and in this case, someone. She also still treats Daniel like a piggy bank. It's clear that she is with Alan because she shares a similar worldview to him. The only real difference between the two is that she is even more defensive than he is, which is why during this entire episode, she doesn't ever admit that stealing the money from their son was ever a bad thing to do. After seeing just how fragmented the family is, Gordon decides that it's time to reveal the fact that he read the autobiography that Alan gave him.
Yeah, I was seeing a reenact of the same scenario. I mean, let me read you a few extracts. He hated being called out on his behavior, especially by his son. He didn't listen to anyone else's opinion, and he did as he chose in his business ventures. Come on.
Alan realizes that he's doing exactly what his father did to him so many years ago, and apologizes for his behavior. With the family as pieced together as it could get for now, Gordon decides to shift his focus onto the menu. He introduces a new menu item that'll serve as a special for today to see how customers react to it. The following dinner service went pretty bad, honestly. The only highlight was that the customers really enjoyed the menu item that Gordon added. Unfortunately, the old menu was not getting the same level of praise. On top of that, the pre-existing issues such as the ticketing system being awful.
What hasn't been made? Because there's lots of fucking sides.
Oh my god. We have no organization, no system. Everything just became a clusterfuck again.
And Alan refusing to cooperate persisted throughout the night. Gordon decides to have a talk with Alan, and he gets him to agree to attempting to cooperate more.
Chef Ramsay is right. Like father, like son. Okay, everyone's doing a great job. We're getting out much faster than we were last night. And I gotta stop it right now because I don't want my son to be like me and in turn pass it on to his child.
The next day, Gordon displays the work that his team has done to everyone. He also reveals a new point-of-sales machine that links to mobile devices to replace the old ticketing system and ensure a quick and error-resistant service. All of the changes were well received. Before the start of the dinner service, Gordon decides to have a pep talk with the owners, in which he tells them,
But I have filled this restaurant with serious bloggers. Coming to dine tonight, Yelp. Tasting Table, Chow, Urban Spoon, Serious Eats LA, and Blackboard Eats.
The night starts off well. However, Alan's old habit of interfering with the kitchen quickly disrupts everything. Alan reveals his real thoughts on the entire situation.
Daniel wanted me just behind the bar. The bottom line is, you can't stop me going to mingle with the customers.
How's everything over here? Okay? Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
I'm an owner. I'm not a vegetable.
Honestly, a wild take if you ask me, since he should be more worried with atoning for his grave mistake instead of indulging in ill-gotten power. David tries to get Alan to return to his post so that the restaurant can function properly. However, Alan being Alan, of course just refuses to cooperate. This causes more issues as Daniel has to stop working in the kitchen to handle his father.
There's no one at 31.
There's a 31. That's 31 there with the 4 gentlemen. Please stay at the bar. Do you see how you totally mess things up? There's no 31. That's 31.
Which results in a drop in food quality and confusion among the kitchen staff.
Look what you're doing to us. It's raw. Fuck. Slow down and focus.
Gordon realizes the issue and tells Daniel.
Dad's so dead set in his way. He's not doing any benefit but causing mayhem.
Yep.
And it's irrelevant. When you're expediting, you're at the helm. But what you did to Dad is exactly what you've got to do more of.
That kind of triggered something in me, and I said, you know what? Chef Ramsay is very, very talented, and he believes in me.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, refry that classic America medium rare 43.
I really have to take the reins. It's the only way the place is.
Which gets Daniel to accept that he has to focus on the kitchen. Once things get back in order, the rest of the night ends well. Gordon tells Gen and Alan to allow Daniel to run the restaurant. Afterwards, Gordon has a heart-to-heart with Daniel.
A few words of advice. Yeah, my father died at 53. I didn't get a chance to say what I needed to say and make up with him before he passed away. You may never forget what he did to you, but you have to forgive him, and you have to move on. Yeah. Okay? Don't forget.
I won't.
But forgive. Okay? Yes?
Yes.
Make sense?
Absolutely. I'll do that.
I believe in you. And
Wow.
I know. I know.
Wow.
You can make this a success. Good luck.
It felt really good. It's every single emotion you would feel when someone of that caliber, you know, puts that on you and says, you can do it.
Thank you.
Take care.
He then leaves, hoping that things go well. If you're curious about what happened next, don't worry, I'll have a video about it up soon.